I willingly sent it. And so you kind of just write it off and go, well, lesson learned, They get you to where you don't tell anybody about them. They isolate you away from your friends. You go through oh my gosh, how could I be so stupid? How could I do that? Just letting people know that it happens to everyday people.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Scamfish. Today we will be speaking to a woman named Debbie from Georgia. After the death of her husband, she was lonely and heartbroken. She decided to turn to online dating in search of a companion and met Fernando on Christian Mingle. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started.
Well, welcome on an episode of Scamfish. You have quite a story to tell today. You have talked to one of the most stolen profiles that we've ever, come across. Tell us about your story. How did you meet this person initially?
I had gotten on a Christian dating site a couple months after my husband had passed away because I had heard from friends, oh, you should do that, It'll give you a chance to meet someone. I've had several friends at work or whatever that have met their spouse or their significant other. And so I said, okay, fine.
Leading up to that, if you are okay talking about it, how did your husband pass away?
He had been ill for like the last 5 years of his life. He had diabetes and he had pulmonary hypertension. He was on oxygen. And so I was his caregiver, and we have now a 20-year-old son with Down syndrome. And so we were all, working from home. I was tutoring and homeschooling kids and different things. So, it was unexpected to say the least because he was only 56.
You have a child with Down syndrome, which requires a lot of work there. Like being a mom and having a child that you love so dearly and helping your child out, but being the caretaker of your husband that is having some really big health issues. Like, what was that like?
We had been married for 28 and a half years before he passed away. So, it was just what you do, and you just go through every day. And it was tough, after being together 24/7 for 5 years, all of a sudden now that person's not there, to talk to and just share with and everything. I think we kind of knew his health was declining, but I think ultimately we kind of thought he would get better. But I also think he kind of knew he wasn't quite right and things were just not going well. And even though I had every thought that he was going to get better, he just didn't. Everything started shutting down after a while.
So you had some friends that said, hey, look, you can meet some like great people on this Christian dating website. It's a very reputable website. And, what's kind of going through your mind? Like, what were your expectations?
I really don't think I had any to start with. I didn't know what to expect because I didn't know anything about it. And it was just, let's see what happens. And really, the guy that I talked to first was really the first guy that, showed interest. And of course, he was handsome and had an Italian accent and, won me over very quickly.
And you probably have your guard down, right? I mean, it's a Christian dating site.
Exactly. And he immediately was, let me have your phone number and we'll talk on the phone and we'll text. And, I knew nothing about anything at that point, and I was more than willing to give him my number, and we talked multiple times a day and texted all day and all night. And, it was great. Sent me flowers, sent me candy. He was 59, so he was right around my age, a widow of 5 years, lost his wife to cancer, had a 19-year-old daughter, and she was in college. And he was born in, I think he said Rome, actually. Had the accent to go along with it.
You know, when you first started talking, were you talking on the phone or just through text message or both?
We were doing both. We were texting and he was calling me probably 5 or 6 times a day.
How long did you talk before the first request for money came?
3 months.
And this is talking every day for hours.
Yes.
And so the first request that he had, what was that?
It was for $15,000. Of course, I had my husband's life insurance money. You know, he said, "Oh, but babe, I'll pay you back. Not a problem. I'll give it right back to you. And I just need it for a couple of weeks." And
What was the money for?
to fix a machine on the rig that was broken. But I really think what got me was when he got the other person involved.
And then who was she to him? Was she just like an accountant?
I guess the middleman, or, you know, just part of the scam. I sent her the money. It went to her, and I mean, wired it straight up from the bank, wired it to her. All of her information was legit. I mean, I called her bank and I asked if that person had an account there and if the address, you know, they verified everything.
Did you end up sending the $15,000?
Yes, I sent 15 at first, and then it was, oh, you know, oh babe, I need 6 or 9 more thousand, and you know, I'm really having a hard time, and I can't get off shore. I can't get off the rig to go to shore. You know, it was just part of the story. I didn't want to do what he wanted. He wanted to do Bitcoin and send money and do all this. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. And then he threatened my child, he threatened me. And that's when, you know, the FBI really kind of got involved. And
like, if this is something that you've gone through, you're going through, you are not alone. And so everybody all the time says, oh, they're so dumb, or this could never happen to me. There's 1 million people a month that come to our site. We have thousands of people in the group.
It's amazing. And I mean, I have learned so much knowledge.
Are you still online dating right now?
Well, kind of. I'm on just doing Facebook dating thing because I figured that was a little bit safer. However, it's still not.
Yeah.
I'm a little more cautious, and I know what to look for. And now I'm like, yeah, right. You know, when they're all flowery and whatever, it's like, nope, sorry, not doing that one. You know, actually, I did have one guy that I talked to for a little amount of time, but he was like very, very country, like just the way he said, you know, dang girl, you're, you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I might actually say hi to him because that sounds normal.
Right.
You know, not, oh, beautiful, whatever.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see somebody who's taken the experience and what they've been through, and it's terrible, by the way. You know,
oh yeah.
You look so confident now, and you know, it's like going out into the world and being a seasoned vet, you know, at this point, and you know, you look super confident with like, you know, how you're dealing with things online. And I mean, the FBI thing, I'm really impressed with like how you handled that. So, you know, it's unfortunate. I definitely agree that, you know, education is key, but it's so nice to see somebody, and we deal with this a lot with all the people we interview, right? You know, unfortunately, sometimes lessons are expensive, and this one was definitely an expensive one, but you know, hopefully we have thousands of people that watch this video that learn before they run into that situation. And at least you're walking away with it with this like new sixth sense, you know, when meeting people.
Yes. Yes.
Debbie reported the scam to a local office in Georgia, and they are actively working on getting her money back. She was able to figure out the true identity of the person whose pictures were stolen. The real person in the photos is Dr. Pinto, a world-renowned doctor living in Sao Paulo. He is one of the most used faces in romance scams.
Are you unsure if the person you're talking to online is real or fake? Maybe you've been trying to get a family member or friend to come to terms, and you have a story that you'd like to share about a romance scam. If this is you, email us at sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. By allowing our YouTube audience to hear about your experiences, you can educate them on what you went through and the signs you witnessed. Education is the best way to prevent these scams. Your story could be the reason thousands of scams are prevented.